Thank you again for tuning in today to another 500 seconds of your current resilience, or a current reminder to your own resilience. That is, a reminder for you to ask yourself the question that I always come back to and want to remind myself of, what drives me. Not just to produce and publish the latest episode, but to remind myself of the discipline, or first of all, the desire, the discipline, and the drive to do what I do. I hope it relates to you, and definitely I would like it to resonate with you and your life. But if it doesn't, hey, there's no harm and no foul. Today's episode is called On Tomorrow's Eve. If you have listened into other of my podcast episodes in the 820 Enterprise, you would notice that I would often rail against this thing called tomorrow and our common reliance or hope for yesterday to reappear today. But regarding that aspect of tomorrow, I would usually advise you against waiting for or deferring this moment to something that will never, ever happen. Certainly, we all have dreams and aspirations for our best to occur. But you and I can only have those aspirations and dreams from this present moment. Yeah, you could pull up an old movie or even a video or picture from the photo library on your phone, iPhone, Android, or tablet. Pictures and images of your past. But again, from where and when would you do that? From the now you live in, but you sometimes prefer to defer to this magical tomorrow. And while we're in a subject and action of reviewing old movies or videos, none of those can show you tomorrow, can they? No. You know why? Because tomorrow never comes. Now, I did not produce this perspective. I heard it many years ago from a great author, Mr. Eckhart Tolle. I actually had the pleasure to meet him in person and actually shake his hand at a conference. No, at a presentation he was making. But he wrote and stated that in that meeting, that question that will maybe stun you forward and more present into reality. For example, from Mr. Eckhart Tolle, when you presumably get to tomorrow, when that happens, ask yourself, what day is this? It's the now. It can never be tomorrow. It's today, the present, the now. Never yesterday, never tomorrow. It is the now. As I said earlier and in previous episodes, I only serve here to remind you and to advise you against any comparison to or competition with your past and or your future. Of course, you and I navigate and negotiate this life as we please because of bills to pay, meetings to make, things to do, errands to run. But within the concept, and context of resilience, I emphasize that perspective because of the necessary and simple focus where it makes sense and from where we can apply that kind of discipline. Only and absolutely in this now, in this present moment. That's what I want to do with each and every episode, to slightly change your perspective on this present moment going forward. Nothing's forever, but on a more consistent and constant process. Yeah, I know I'm dreaming here from my humble position behind this monitor, from behind this microphone, and hopefully into your ears, into your hearts. But as a nod to those of you who must still keep a death grip on that term and reference called tomorrow. Right now, in these limited 500 seconds, we've had this wonderful and I hope new chat between you and I here and now today. Today. Let's call today tomorrow's Eve. That sound better? I am accommodating your interest in that term tomorrow. In this discussion we've had today, let's look at it this way. You and I have had a great chat, not in person, but from voice to ear, here and now today on tomorrow's Eve. However, no cake or soup for you tomorrow, but you can have it here and eat it at any time. From right here, right now, on tomorrow's Eve. Does that sound a little bit better? Is that more digestible than my adamant argument against tomorrow? Not because, no, I'm sorry. I do believe in my heart of hearts that doesn't happen. Even though I'm as guilty as possible for the past, 4 or 5 decades to have committed to that thought process. But as I mentioned in other episodes, it's not about thinking. We don't do that anymore. We only observe. So I hope in this discussion today, this relaying of my maybe slightly off the beaten path perspective on what resilience is, what beauty is, what desire, discipline, and drive can be in our respective lives. I hope in this way, even though I am against a term that I want to change your perspective on, the thing called tomorrow, here we are again, sharing this space, this energy, this moment, or these 500 seconds of moments, enjoying this time together from the only place we can be. I call it here, today, and now, but you can call it on tomorrow's Eve. Stay present, stay current. Remember, no matter where you are in this world, it's always 8:20.